Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip, neighborhood be the name.
Is it that outlandish?
Wait a minute. Who are we?
What? Oh, we're actually talking to the people.
Let's talk to the people, right? Okay. So,
We're Tucky and Hoffman here from the Small Market Podcast, discussing some very important stuff.
yes, I don't know why I always seem taller than you in all the videos that
I
we do. Why is
slouch. I'm a
you
horrible
slouch a lot?
sloucher.
I slouch too, but I'm still looking taller than you. I look like I'm your dad. It's ridiculous.
Well, maybe we should shave more often.
Maybe. So you came up with a very, very flag in the ground stance about Harbaugh, and you think that he should be the next Lions coach.
Jim Harbaugh is the next man for the Lions.
No, he's not. Why? Now, you explain to me why you think you're right.
Because Jim Harbaugh is a proven winner everywhere he's been, except
God.
Michigan. I know this is where the laughing comes in.
God.
This is where the laughing comes in. Everywhere except Michigan. And he has a winning record. He's just, the last 2 years have been bad. But if he goes back to the NFL is where he is meant to be. Went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. He is the guy that made the call to stick with Colin Kaepernick, rode him to the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship, multiple NFC Championship appearances. He is a proven winner. And the issue is he went to college and he tries to treat the college kids like professional athletes. And you can't give them that big of a leash. You have to micromanage. And he's not capable of doing that right now at Michigan. He's proven that he isn't.
Right. I feel like if he goes back to a professional team, he goes back to the NFL, he's dealing with guys who aren't that much older than NFL players. They're just a little bit older, 2, 3, 4 years at an average. And these guys are making millions of dollars versus the people that he's usually dealing with is college kids who make no money and are trying to get a job out of being a professional athlete. I think once you're dealing with guys who are making more money than even you, why are they? That's going to be tougher to deal with than.
But he doesn't have, because they know if they want that paycheck, they have to perform. They have to perform. They are getting paid millions to perform. They are professionals. When you get to a certain point, you don't need someone constantly hovering over you. The people that are masters of their craft don't have their boss hovering over them. The people that are starting out have to be watched because they are going to make the mistakes.
I feel like a lot of those guys have guaranteed contracts. If they're making more than the guy that they're supposed to be taking orders from, their immediate manager, their boss, if they don't want to do what he's telling them to do, they're not going to do it. I think he got really lucky with San Francisco. Go ahead and kill me over that, but I think he got really lucky in San Francisco, especially choosing Kaepernick over Alex Smith, right? So
yeah,
he got lucky in that decision. Maybe not necessarily lucky, but Colin Kaepernick, no matter what you feel about him today or not, was a better athlete than Alex Smith is.
He was.
More durable, he was younger, he was more
attractive.
mobile. Oh, absolutely. That's kind of an obvious pick. Yeah, let's take him over Alex Smith. It's not quite the same decision as what was it with the Eagles, where you got it's like Nick Foles or Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is this young, fresh guy, but he's kind of hurt and all that. Yeah, you take Nick Foles. He's the one that's capable. He's not hurt.
So what
Carson Wentz is more attractive than Nick Foles, but Nick Foles got them to the Super Bowl and won them a Super Bowl. To me, I dig that underdog thing.
So are you trying to tell me that it's just you could plug anybody into that head coaching role in San Francisco and they go to the Super Bowl?
I think that was an obvious decision between Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, sure, I'll take a chance on the younger, more attractive, more mobile, more brash, more confident QB than the guy who's like he's kind of aging. We're not super high on him, and it's yeah, I'll take a chance and die on the hill with Kaepernick over Alex Smith.
Harbaugh's problem is he treats his quarterback position at Michigan like it's a free agent market. You just go and get whoever, and he's never developed a quarterback of his own. That doesn't work in college football. However, in the pros, you have a free agent market, and he can go and tell his GM to go get the guys he wants. He can have a say in the guys who he gets. That's
understandable. Okay, all right.
So it's not, hey, I lost out to Alabama. It's like, hey, open up the checkbook. We're not losing out to anybody. We're going to go get our guy. And you're capable of being able to do that in the NFL. And that's why I think his style, his game translates to the NFL better than it does college football. And I feel that for the Lions, he is the right choice, as laughable as it sounds. As laughable as his record is at Michigan is right now, he has got prior head coaching experience in the NFL, very successful, former NFL quarterback. He is a guy you want. You don't, if you're the Lions, want to go get somebody that was, I don't know, a former coordinator, I don't know, a former maybe defensive coordinator from some dynasty, and say, well, they won a lot, so this guy must be good. You don't want to roll the dice after just having rolled the dice and compound this into more of an issue. Because you already look like clowns.
Here's my
for
thought.
Removing Caldwell.
Even in the small sports market Detroit, I think if Sheila Ford picks up Jim Harbaugh after the abysmal season he's had at Michigan, does that prove anything or make anything better? No, you're going to become an even bigger laughing stock than you already were with with Patricia. Especially, you've got a 50-50 chance of that. He either does well, gets us a winning record, or he doesn't. And when he doesn't, you're going to look horrible. And I think that's all that Lions ownership, the Fords, have to kind of play for or work for right now is how crappy are we going to look? How terrible are we going to look to the Lions fan base? Are we going to continue this culture of losing?
Well, how bad is your organization where that's what you're worried about? You're worried about the optics more so than the product. We don't want to look bad, so we're not going to bring in somebody like Jim Harbaugh. You can't say because of a bad stint over the last 2 years. If you took the last 2 years out of his tenure at Michigan, he's won the majority of his games. He's brought you like 3 10-win seasons.
I don't know. And possibly we're possibly being premature because we're already assuming that Harbaugh is going to get let go by U of M.
Well, yes, I guess that is assuming it, but it looks inevitable at this point.
Right.
You can't if you're Michigan, you can't keep him there. You can't live by the mantra the team, and go by Bo Schembechler's speech and have it written in your locker room and on the tunnel walls as you're coming into the stadium and say no coach is bigger than the team, no player is bigger than the team in his speech, and then turn around and say, well, nobody but Jim Harbaugh. It's time for Michigan to move on. Otherwise, you're just being hypocritical in everything you've branded yourself of being.
I guess I'm not as familiar with U of M's marketing department, and we've talked about that a lot. But what kind of hill are they gonna die on? And
well, you can't.
They seem like even the kind of brand and the kind of team that would go, yeah, let's give Harbaugh another year. But unless there's some guy that's super, super perfect that would fit in with that Michigan culture, that Michigan head coach position, I don't see it happening. I don't know. That seems like a bit of a stretch to have Jim Harbaugh come in as your NFL Detroit Lions coach. I like Harbaugh. I'm a Harbaugh guy. I would probably even give him another year at U of M, but I don't know that he's to me, it's like we're playing roulette with the Lions and like Michigan.
I think we can both
Coaches.
agree, Hoffman, is the bottom line is the Lions have to get it right this time. You said we're playing Russian roulette. You can't afford to miss on this GM/coaching hire.
Then where's Jim Caldwell? Bring him back. Can't we bring him back?
If he's not the guy,
What's he doing right now? Like I mentioned this to you last week. Billy Martin went back and forth to the Yankees like 2 or 3 times. Steinbrenner kept. And Steinbrenner, that's a guy who's
how
got a
many World
huge
Series
ego.
did Billy Martin win?
He won a couple. World
Exactly.
Series.
How many Super Bowls has Jim Caldwell won? You can't compare the two. Those are apples to oranges. Jim Caldwell is not the Billy Martin of the NFL. He's just not.
He gave us a winning season, though. And that apparently
There- you
wasn't good
can-
enough for us.
you
We
can-
tried to make that leap and be like, look, we need a championship team. We need a championship caliber team, or we need a playoff winning team. And because he couldn't deliver that in the first 3 seasons, we axed him and we went a different direction.
And you know what? If they're going to do something like they did, they had better damn well make sure that they get the guy that's going to take them to that next level. They dropped the ball there. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean bringing back somebody that wasn't going to get you there is then again the right choice.
Good point.
Saying,
Very
okay,
good point.
we need to get to the playoffs. There are a lot of coaches that can get you to the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't want to see Caldwell back. I think he was wrongly let go, and I think he was good for us at the time. But you have to go in a different direction, but you have to make sure you get it right this time.
All right. Well, that's a good point, Watucky. I appreciate it. I respect your opinion.
I do yours, Hoffman.
Okay. Well, this was Watucky and Hoffman on the Small Market Podcast discussing the Lions coaching situation as well as the Jim Harbaugh possibility of him coming in and possibly taking over the organization.
Check out this week's podcast. We'll be asking Joel Volk, media personality around the Great Lakes Bay region, with his opinions on that.
Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip, neighborhood be the name.